This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, this is Foss Fair, President of the Historic Preservation Board, June 26, 2023. And Josh, would you like to call the roll
Sure. Foster,
here?
Tom Wheatley,
Here.
George Lozano,
Here.
and Kevin Cox.
Here.
Okay, so we need to look at the consent agenda. Has everybody had a chance to look at the minutes of the last meeting? Is there any motion to approve that?
I'll make the motion to approve previous minutes.
Second it.
Okay, been moved in second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, minutes approved. And now, what's the administrative reviews? Can you explain that, Josh?
Yeah, those are just the reviews that I do myself instead of bringing it for you, the board.
Okay,
And the only thing on there was an HVAC installation.
okay. We need to approve that or? Okay, motion to approve that. HVAC installation at 1.126. Where is that, Josh?
That's our CB Bank, the downtown.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, reviews, administrative reviews have been passed. We're now to items for discussion. Review the proposed storefront, 408 South Summit Street. Josh?
Okay. So our property that we're talking about tonight is at 408 South Summit. We're actually going to add on a sign, and do that at the same time, so we'll do the storefront and a sign, just so she didn't have to come back for a future meeting. So what she's wanting to do a roll-up type door in the storefront. So let's see, she has some pictures too that she can show you in a few minutes. It'd be something like this where you have a door that would be something you could open up. This is what the storefront looks like today.
Right.
It's just got this double window and it has some transoms up there, but they've been boarded up for many years. There's also still a curb cut in front of the building where a door used to be accessed. Obviously, you can't do anything today. And historically, this building was a service garage at one time. Now, there's probably a good chance it hasn't been a service garage probably since the 40s, so it may not have been a roll-up door. It was probably the doors open like this.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know for sure. Couldn't find any pictures. I even asked the Memories of Park City Facebook group to see if anybody had pictures. I got some history when I did that. Holt Motor Company, I think, was one I learned a little bit about, like when it was in existence. But it was also in another location, 526, I think. Is where it was more recently, probably up through the 60s or so. But being all that, and we know it was a service garage at one time, and that curb cut is still there.
Can you explain what that is, a curb cut? What does that mean?
In the curb, there's like a drive.
Drive-through.
Oh, I got it.
You could actually drive up on the sidewalk today even, which is bizarre. I don't know how that survived the street beautification project. I don't know how that survived that, but it did. But clearly there was one in the past. So
This later became Eddie's Cleaners, is that?
yes, then towards the end of its life, it was Eddie's Cleaner. Now it's been some stuff more recently. Lisa Kohler had her shop in there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
She was selling some.
I believe there was a transmission shop there.
Yeah, wasn't that Hess transmission?
Gas transmission, I think, was in that building. That's
Yeah.
why it still had the garage.
Mhm.
Yeah, it had some information.
It was somewhere along there. I don't remember exactly where, but there was a transmission shop.
I think that was it. I'm not sure either.
Yeah, the KHRI says 1930, it was Tire Bill Shop. It was replaced by Holt Motor Company and Fred Stockton Auto Body in 1938. In 52, it was Ben Stockton Motor Company. And then there's really nothing after that. It doesn't, I mean, there's no history in there after that.
Okay.
So Brandy Webb's here tonight. She's the property owner, the building owner. And I think she has some more pictures that she wants to show you.
I do.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know it was right along there, but I can't remember exactly which building Hess was in.
I just printed off a few things and I took some pictures. And I was showing this one is 2 doors down. It was the garage door also. I also am interested, I don't know your guys' take on doing like a half garage. I don't know if you guys have seen those. Where it's only like a 2-panel. I don't know if you've been at El Petrillo down in Ponca City. The Mexican restaurant has it. And
Oh, yeah.
that's El Petrillo right there in Ponca. And then I just printed off some other ones around in Kansas here.
Brewery and Winfield stuff.
Yeah, the Ladybirds.
Yeah.
I put that there, and I think they have a full one.
I think you're right. I think it was the one next door.
I went to the Cherokee Strip, tried to find some history on the place too. Wasn't successful. So
It's been a lot of different things,
yeah,
but this looks interesting to me. So.
and this is kind of my, I draw it up real quick for a storefront, like the logo up top where that Eddie's Cleaner sign is
Okay.
what I'm kind of thinking, and maybe a couple lights to add just to.
Yeah, we're interested in the positioning and the type of signage
Okay,
regards to.
I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm more likely doing something flat like that, like his.
Flat against.
Yeah, and then maybe a couple lights, especially if I do a couple windows or a garage door. I would assume there's bolts out there and studs where there looked like there was something, I don't know if you can see it right here, some sort of signage, because the brackets are still there.
Do you want to put it where the
But-
current sign is?
Probably somewhere like that, yeah.
Center.
And then maybe a light, even though there's a street light right there in the
Yes.
up front.
Right.
Pretty reasonable considering it to be a later in the evening business.
Mhm.
Yeah. And Josh, your recommendation?
I definitely don't have a problem with that sign.
Yeah.
The storefront change is a little different. If it was a more historic character to that building, I would be really anxious about it. But without knowing what it is, it's a simple commercial block building. I don't have any huge issues with it. Especially if it's not changing the size of it or anything like that.
Yeah, well, it'd be nice to have a place like that, I think.
Well, and I know we approved the dining outside, so that kind of was,
Would that be in the front of the building?
yeah. I know there's not a ton of room for dining outside, but it'd be nice if we could just put like a couple tables every day out there, just for lunch or
Yeah.
dinner. And then just pull them in every night type thing, just kind of home. Really thing, just kind of get people driving by like, oh, what's that, type, a little bit more attraction.
Would there be some kind of awning or something?
I was gonna ask if that's allowed. Being the sun's being down right there, I would like one eventually. I just been so overwhelmed with all the other stuff. I haven't gotten into looking at specs on that, but I'm still a couple months out. But I was gonna ask if that was an option.
A couple of umbrella tables possibly.
Yeah.
So this is going to be more or less a sports bar,
Yes.
not necessarily a family-oriented place, but over 21.
Yeah, I put on my insurance and everything, no kids after 9. I have no problem. I have 3 teenagers that say kids come in and play pool. I mean, you know, I'm know all the kids in town because I'm security of high school and middle school. I have no problem with them kids coming in as long as they're behaved and not a problem, you know.
Right.
I mean, my kid's 14 and likes to play pool sometimes, you know. Plan on putting a couple pool tables in there and maybe a little, try to get a lunch crowd, you know, type thing, or weekends, I want to have football games going all the time, you know, just a light atmosphere, pretty much relaxed and.
So you'd be serving like local craft beer?
I don't think I'm gonna do a cake quite yet, but anything like I can get from Anheuser, from Michael, or go through Helms or. But yeah, I want to use all local. Once I can.
Any more discussion?
I like the awning idea. It's, you're gonna need it like a day like today, help cut
Yeah,
cooling
that's
costs, but I'm concerned of maintaining it. Like we have other neighbors up the street from me that do not maintain it. Letters have been put out by the city.
It'll be.
So that and any improvement in that block is good for me. So I'm all for it.
I went to a meeting a couple months ago and they're talking about trying to get more businesses down south, you know, to get more of the town involved, and I think it'd be great, honestly. I mean, we bartend at Terry's and it's just so dark and gloomy and, you know, just looking for something light and free and airy, you know. Welcoming.
From the historical perspective, I still don't think it's a problem because it looks like you're bringing the building back to where it started.
Yeah,
Being a garage door opening there. So to me, that's good from a historical viewpoint.
Yeah.
That's what we are. We're the
Yeah.
historical board.
What do you think of your alley in the back?
I don't like it.
It's like a World War II movie back there.
Yes, it does. I'm hoping to break some dirt in and flatten it out and maybe hopefully getting some sort of
Or is it
deck or patio out there.
a picture?
I know that the old Newman building annexed that KGB power thing, but I know that all their AC units aren't working back there, so I was anxious to maybe talk to them about. I mean, I know they still use it, but I'd like to at least build it up in the back and do some sort of decking for.
Pretty roomy inside, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that property has that thing.
I see.
That's some potential.
Yeah.
This
A
owner
lot of
parking.
room in there.
There is. How many square feet in there? You
It's
remember?
like around 2,900,
Yeah, we could do some of that.
Mm-hmm.
just under 3,000.
Tackle that, no?
Hmm?
You want to tackle that, though.
That's okay. We do.
Well, yeah, I like the idea. I would, of course, I like local beers too, but it'd be nice to have one or two other types like Sam Adams or something else. That's just me. But that has nothing to do with what we're doing here tonight.
I only like Mexican beers, so.
Yeah, yeah, that's good too. Yeah, Dos
I like any
Equis.
kind of beer.
So anyway, well, should we make a motion to approve the,
I'll make a motion to approve this as presented.
I would second the motion. Or we just.
You want to include the storefront, all 3 of those
You
things?
want to do everything on one motion?
sure. So what are we approving?
So that the storefront, the change to it, to the garage door, whatever,
Right, garage,
the awning,
right,
if she wants to do that in the future, and then the sign.
okay.
We can put it in one motion. I don't think, probably could do it. Anybody object to putting it in one motion?
Mhm.
No, that's fine.
I think it's fine.
So you move,
Make the
I can
motion.
second it.
That's one, yeah.
okay.
Second.
We just do this, all in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye. The motion carries.
Tell me
And you're-
who made the motion and seconded it. I didn't write it down.
I seconded it.
I made it.
Tom made the motion.
Kevin seconded it.
We did a 3-in-1.
Yeah, we're
We're so
happy to see
busy, we don't
somebody
want to,
doing
stay
something.
another minute.
I hope it goes. I mean, I see the clientele, so I think it's different clientele than do.
Any target date for opening or?
I'm hoping right around Labor Day, I can get all the hoops and haulers and mountains through there.
Not very far off.
I know,
Okay. Lowry.
yes. We got permits last week. And there's hopefully start on that after this week.
Okay. All right, any other items?
Do you guys need to keep those pictures? That's fine.
You can have them back.
You might need them for us.
Yeah, you might have them, need
In
them.
case you want to expand to the south or something.
Yeah, because there is another garage.
There's the one that needs help too next.
Oh, right, I kind of wish I had those buildings too.
Right now, Angel's, yeah, it's
Yes.
Oh, okay.
that's where they do their commodities and stuff. So the only other thing I have is, remember last month we talked about George's Bridge?
Yeah.
And apparently that was enough, the letter we sent, and Katrina Ringler actually visited the site. I went out there with her and George, and we looked at the bridge, and she asked him a few questions. And so that must have been enough to push that forward. And so I gave you a copy of a letter because they're going to be reviewing that at their August 5th meeting.
I've got a good feeling about it. I think she's behind us on that.
Well, I wonder how, because about the time after that meeting is when the other bridges in the county started coming up. I don't know if you saw that in the
I
news.
saw
did.
some of it.
So it may be a really good thing that this one's getting listed, because it'll encourage the county commission to.
Right, and that bridge is still in use. In fact, chased down a wheat truck semi the other day going over the bridge.
Well, that was my question. The
Yeah,
main thing was, what about the KDOT signs for those intersections?
yeah, well,
That's a
I
different
think
issue.
it would motivate them to put signs at the closest intersections, maybe no trucks. They have one at the end of Kansas Avenue, there where the cemetery is, no trucks. I mean, there's no bridge there, but they got a nice no truck sign. So I don't see the issue of putting one.
That's probably the city though, in that case. That might be the city to put that one up.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Doesn't matter who, can we just get them up?
I
City,
don't- I
county?
think, well, of course, the county's got to do it. The sign engineer got to do it.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a state sign.
No,
County has.
no, county.
Now, the state could put one up on 166.
Take forever.
Yeah.
No, I guess it's not a highway though. It's
County road.
yeah, it's just county road.
Okay.
So, yeah, keeping my fingers crossed.
Okay,
Thank you.
step one.
All right, well, no other items. Is there a motion to adjourn?
No,
Do you have anything else, Josh?
That was it? I'll make motion to adjourn then.
I'll say.
They all in favor, say aye.
All right.
We are adjourned.
All right. Good seeing everybody.
Let's see.